How to know if your children are being cyberbullied without spying on them. Could your children be victims of cyberbullying? Could they be cyberbullying others? If that was happening, would you even know about it? Cyberbullying is the number one fear of both parents and children, and with good reason. Cyberbullying is worse than physical bullying in so many ways, and it affects the majority of children, whether they're a direct victim, a perpetrator, or a bystander. The list of teens who have committed suicide as a direct result of cyberbullying is far too long. People like 13-year-old Hope Witsell, 17-year-old Ronan Hughes, 12-year-old Lynn Butler, 14-year-old Hannah Smith, 16-year-old Amanda Todd, 13-year-old Megan Meier, 17-year-old Rachael Neblett, 17-year-old Jessica Logan, 16-year-old David Molak, 15-year-old Pheobe Prince, 13-year-old Ryan Halligan, and sadly the list just goes on. These aren't just names, they're real people who never made it as far as adulthood, who were tormented online to the point that they couldn't handle it anymore and saw no other way to escape. Can you imagine finding your child hanging in their bedroom like some of the parents and family members of these children did? All because of their online activities that could have been avoided, mostly on sites like MySpace, Kik and Ask.fm. My name is Ruth Deering. I'm a mother of two, #1 international best-selling author, public speaker and your peaceful digital parenting expert. After reading so many tragic stories of cyberbullying and its effects, I've become very passionate about learning as much as possible about how to help parents like you avoid their children from becoming the next victim of cyberbullying. I don't want your child to go down that track, and I know that we can avoid that from happening. This video is called How to Know If Your Children Are Being Cyberbullied Without Spying on Them, so let me answer that question for you now. One of the reasons cyberbullying often gets so bad is because most children don't tell their parents it's happening. So step number 1 is to recognise the signs of cyberbullying. These include things like your child withdrawing from activities they would otherwise enjoy, your child being uneasy after being online, your child covering up their online activities, and your child being more quiet than usual or just not being themselves. Now, these things may seem obvious, but so many parents miss these signs until it's too late. What are some other ways to know if your children are being cyberbullied without spying on them? The key is to open the lines of communication with your children. To do this, you need to really listen to your children. Give them plenty of opportunities to talk with you and always be approachable. You want them to come to you with their issues as opposed to you trying to pry it out of them. As far as social media and messaging goes, it's important to have ongoing conversations with your children about the effects of cyberbullying. They need to understand what cyberbullying is and how it affects other children so they don't perpetrate the behaviour themselves. They also need to understand that cyberbullying often results in anxiety, depression and suicidal thoughts, and that they'll need help if they get targeted. You can only help them if you know about it, which is why there has to be a rule in place where you can follow them on whatever social media platforms they're using. That doesn't mean you should comment on their posts or be in their face online, so please don't do that. But they need to understand that you're following them to help them. You're not spying on them behind their back, and you'll monitor their activity for their benefit, not for yours. I've spent years learning everything possible about cyberbullying, as well as online predators, social media use, and other topics relating to cyber safety. My aim is to share valuable information with parents that can save lives, and I do exactly that in the least amount of time possible as I get how busy you are. This video is barely scratching the surface of cyberbullying and keeping your children safe online. There is so much to know. If you found this information useful and you'd like to know more, the best way forward is to join me on my next live online seminar. You can register for that, it's free, at www.peacefuldigitalparenting.com/webinar-registration. It's free to attend, you can listen from home, and it's packed with lots of useful information. If you can't make it live, just register anyway, and you can watch the replay in your own time. There's no obligation on you to do anything other than listen to the information right to the end in order to benefit from all the tips that I share. Thanks for listening. That's it from me for today, and I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. Catch you then.